Good day, friends. It's Mikey GloveSave. Been breaking down games all afternoon, and I finally have my bet slip to share with that ass. I don't know how all these online capper dudes do this stuff, man. This takes a long time, or maybe it just takes a long time for Mikey GloveSave because he's very analytical. But Mikey GloveSave has his energy drink. These are pretty bitchin', and he's just slamming energy drinks and going over hockey stuff. So let's start with Boston and Detroit. We're starting off with these 7 o'clock games. We got the draw at plus 340 for a half unit on FanDuel. We have Talbot and Swayman in goal. The Bruins are also missing Pasternak. Zacha is on the day-to-day list, but Detroit sucking butt crack. I expect a close game. I took the draw on this one. Middlestat, plus 120 for a point at Fanatics. He's on the second line with Kuznetsov and Zacha if he plays. He's also on PP1. 4 points in the last 5 games, so I'll take Middlestat for a point. That's all I got for that game. And I know you're all already thinking, Mikey GloveSave, where's that chilled, laid-back Mikey GloveSave? Like yesterday, Mikey GloveSave was just in his chair, chilling and stuff like that. And look, Mikey GloveSave is still in post-Idaho relaxation mode. But today, Mikey GloveSave's got to ramp it up because it takes him so long to break down these games that he's got to hurry up and get picks out to that ass before the game starts. So I'm just going to ramp it up here and then go back into chill mode. We're going Pittsburgh versus Toronto. Daddy took the Pitt money line. Plus 100 with his 10% boost on Fanatics. This is my extensive breakdown. Maple Leafs suck. Pittsburgh doesn't suck. The Maple Leafs have Hildeby projected for goal, who's only played 3 games so far this year and lost all 3. Seelovs is in goal for Pittsburgh. He blocks pucks. Pittsburgh scores goals. Pittsburgh money line. Now, that doesn't mean that Mikey GloveSave thinks that Toronto can't score goals. Of course they can. I actually look at their lines all the time, and I'm like, how are these guys getting their asses kicked so much? Anyway, Daddy took the draw on this also for a half unit, plus 320 on FanDuel. Toronto, 4-3 out of the last 7 games to the draw, one of those being with Hildeby, and Pittsburgh, 4-4 in the last 8 games to the draw. 2 of their last 3 games have also gone to overtime, so Daddy took the draw on that one. And some undeniable point props for the Maple Leafs. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. How is he still at plus money for a point? Check this out. Plus 108 on FanDuel. 100% hit rate in the last 5 games. 90% hit rate in the last 10. Now, Pittsburgh is good at preventing points to D-men, but you cannot pass this up with him, especially if he's still at plus money, which I still have no idea how he is. And then Easton Cowan for a point, plus 106 on FanDuel. He's on line 2 and power play 1, 3 points in the last 5 games. He's producing. So those are 2 great point opportunities for the Maple Leafs, who I think are going to lose. And I hope they lose because I have Pittsburgh to win. And Mikey GloveSave really doesn't know what to do with this next one. It's kind of like when he was in high school and he didn't know what to do with the ladies. It's like, oh, wow, this girl said, yeah, she's going to go to a dance with me. What do I do now? I don't know what to do. That's what it's like with Winnipeg and Nashville. You got 2 dookie-eating teams, and they're both starting their backup goalies. So I'm not taking a side on this or any over-unders or anything. However, there are a couple point props I like. I do like some dudes on Winnipeg to get some points, but the prices eat a butt crack. Holla for a point on Nashville, plus 140. He is centering line 2 with Forsberg and Wood, and he's also centering power play 2. Steven Stamkos moved up to line 1 and power play 1. He has 4 points in the last 2 games, and his price is at plus 115 for a point on Fanatics. And on to the Flyers of Philadelphia versus the Devils of New Jersey. Daddy likes the draw on this one, too. I have a few draws today. Half unit plus 330 on FanDuel. We got Vladar and Markstrom, the projected goalies. Vladar, out of the last 7 games, is 3-4 to the draw, and Markstrom is 4-3 to the draw. These are 2 good defensive teams. I think the game should be pretty tight, so I took the draw. Daddy also took Forster for a point, plus 120 on Fanatics, getting a 10-cent price advantage here. He's on the top line and power play 1 with Cates and Konechny. Now, Cates ain't doing dookie. Konechny, his point props minus 120, and Forster's been putting more points on the board than Konechny has. So how is he at plus 120? I don't know, but I'm going to take it. This is the beauty of hockey prop betting. So I took Forster for a point at plus 120 on Fanatics. And Arseny Gritsuk for a point, plus 132 on FanDuel. He's on the second line and power play 2. He was scoring points. Then he went about 4 games with being kind of quiet, and then last night comes out with a 2-point game. He also shoots a lot, so wouldn't be surprised if something snuck past the goalie here. Plus, Philadelphia has been giving up points to right wingers lately, so I think Gritshock for a point at plus 132 is a very good look. The Sabres of Buffalo versus the Wild of Minnesota. Mikey GloveSave has went back and forth with this game between the puck line for Minnesota and the draw. I know, 2 different extremes, but hear me out here. When Buffalo loses, they just get beat down by margin. So I thought, oh, I'll take Minnesota minus 1.5 or plus 140. But then I look at Minnesota, and yeah, they're on a 7-game win streak, and they're kicking booty, but a lot of their games go to the draw. So it's like, okay, well, they're going to hold them to the draw, or they're just going to kick the crap out of them. I really don't know. I couldn't get a good look. So Daddy didn't touch that. However, Daddy did take Marcus Johansson for a point. Check this out. Last 5 games, 60% hit rate. Last 10 games, 70% hit rate. Last 15 games, 80% hit rate. He's on line 2 and power play 2, and he's still somehow at plus money. So I took Marcus Johansson for a point, plus 112 on FanDuel. And here's another good one for that ass, also on Minnesota. Danila Yurov for a point, plus 120 on ESPN. He's centering line 1 with Kaprizov, one of the best players in the league, clearly the best player on Minnesota, and Matt Zuccarello. He also centers power play 2. Now look at the point prop cost for Kaprizov and Zuccarello, and then look at the cost for this dude. Plus 120. This is beautiful. And do I think Buffalo's going to score even though I think they're going to lose? Of course I do. Watch, Buffalo's going to kick the shit out of Minnesota because I said that. Anyway, they just got shut out. They're going to come out swinging. They're going to score some goals. We got Josh Doan moved back up to the top line and power play 1 with Thompson and Tuck, the 2 premier goal scorer, point getter dudes on the Sabres. So Daddy got him at even money, Josh Doan for a point, plus 100. And where the heck did I get that? I think I got that on FanDuel. St. Louis versus Utah. Daddy saw this last night, and Daddy said, oh, I'm taking the over on this. I had a flat 6 at plus 110, and then I went back and checked it today, and now it's up to plus 122. So you get a flat 6 at plus 122 on FanDuel. Anyway, I took the over 5.5 minus 108 on FanDuel for a full unit, and then I did the over 6 plus 110 for a half unit, which really makes no sense. I might as well do a full unit on that. What's the worst that happens? I get a push. Anyway, we got Vejmelka and Hofer in net. Both teams score, but both teams also give up goals. So Daddy likes the over. Daddy also likes the draw again for this game, plus 320 for a half unit on FanDuel. Neither team tends to win by a lot of margin. Lots of 1-goal games between these teams, friends, and both have taken enough trips to overtime to make Daddy lean towards the draw. Okay, now check this one out. On the Utah Mammoth, Nate Schmidt for an assist, plus 235 on ESPN. I was looking at his point prop, which is still fairly priced, but check this out. The majority of the points that he gets, actually 6 points in the last 10 games, 5 of which were assists. He's the D-man on line 2 and PP2. He's an offensive D-man. That's a great price for an assist for Nate Schmidt. And for the Blues of St. Louis, Jake Neighbors moved up to line 1 and power play 1, and his point prop is at plus 132. So check this out. He's on line 1 and power play 1 with Thomas and Kyrou. Thomas's point prop is minus 160. Kairou's point prop is minus 125. This is just beautiful. Neighbors for a point, plus 132 on FanDuel. And I got one more prop for that ass in this game, going back to the Mammoth. Logan Cooley, minus 115 for a point on Caesars. How is this minus 115? I know you're thinking, Mikey GloveSave, this isn't plus money. What are you so excited about? He's centering line 2 and PP1. He leads Utah in points and goals. He has 11 points in the last 10 games. How is this dude not priced like Kirill Kaprizov or Nathan McKinnon or any of those dudes? I don't know. I'm taking it. If this is the kind of price I'm getting, I'll take this on auto bet all day. Canucks versus Kings. Over flat 6, minus 128 on FanDuel. I do not love this play. The Kings tend to have lower scoring games, more strong defensive efforts. You're looking at like 5-goal games. But Vancouver gives up a lot of goals. So, whatever. I'm just going to go with the over. And you know Daddy's going to have at least 1 point prop for that ass here. I'm going to take Trevor Moore for a point, plus 120 on FanDuel. 4 points in the last 5 games. He's on line 2 and PP2. Vancouver is 32nd in giving up points to left wingers, and he's coming off a 2-point performance versus Anaheim. Trevor Moore for a point. And for the final game of the evening, the Sharks of San Jose versus the Golden Knights of Vegas, who have been really, really sucking a hairy butt crack lately. We got Nedeljkovic versus Lindbaum in goal tonight. Lindbaum, 6 starts this year, hasn't won a single game. Vegas is eating balls on a 4-game losing streak, just consuming balls. It's like they got ball salad, ball cereal. It's just like in Forrest Gump with the shrimp salad and all that stuff that Bubba Gump had. Everything was shrimp. This is all balls for Vegas. Now, you know who's not eating balls? The San Jose Sharks. And how can I not take a shot for a half unit at the Sharks money line at plus 270 on Caesars? I think that this is just kind of disrespectful to the Sharks with the way that they've been playing versus the way that Vegas has been playing. So Daddy also threw a full unit on the Sharks plus 1.5, which is also a plus money, plus 114 on FanDuel. Now, you know Daddy's going to have a few point props for that ass to finish off the night. Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of San Jose, his point prop is at minus 104 on FanDuel. You see, this is why you got to bet hockey. Again, check this out. Another advantage. He's on the top line and power play 1 with Macklin Celebrini. He has 8 points in the last 10 games. What's Macklin Celebrini's point prop at? Like minus 190, minus 200? Yeah, Will Smith's at minus 104. Now, Vegas is second in preventing points to right wingers. But, I mean, you see what Vegas is doing. They're giving up goals. They're losing. Will Smith's playing great. He's with Macklin. This is more than a fair price for his point prop. And here's an advantageous advantage to cap off the evening. Braden Bowman for a point, plus 124 on FanDuel. He's on the top line with Jack Eichel and Ivan Barbashev. He's also on power play 2, not with those dudes, but still with other bitchin' dudes. Anyway, he has 5 points in the last 5 games. Now go look at the price for Eichel and go look at it for Barbashev. Now Barbashev's been on line 1, and his point was around plus 115, then it went down to like plus 105. Now it's like minus 105 to minus 115. But Bowman stays the same, and he's producing like a champion. So yeah, Daddy's going to take his point prop for that price. That's going to do it for the Mikey GloveSave show today. Hopefully you caught my video earlier for the Tampa Bay Rangers game and my post on Twitter about the Colorado game, because Daddy already started cleaning up with the first 2 games today. So hopefully Daddy can keep that going tonight for the GloveSave posse and, of course, Mikey GloveSave, because Mikey GloveSave really, really wants to take Mrs. GloveSave to Sizzler. Now, it does take a lot of work to make these videos and go over all these stats. Look at all this. Look at all these notes I got. I got all these notes here for you. I'm doing this stuff all day. Can you at least hit the like button, subscribe, or do something to make Mikey GloveSave feel like he's helping at least one of you? Good day.